Hi guys, I welcome you all in the Alpha Structures and Patterns. My name is Abbasuli. I'll be giving a weekly analysis every week, which will cover weekly, daily, and intraday trading analysis of that week, of those expected trades coming in your radar. Well, let me introduce myself. I've been in Forex, I've been trading Forex and uh, stock market about for 3 years, and I work on the basis of price action and especially breakout strategy. I'm not going to offer any kind of free signals, never. I'm not going to offer any kind of money account managing services. I'm not an account manager, of course, and I am not going to give any education uh, on the behalf of any big broker, and I won't charge for any kind of education. It's gonna be free education. My aim is just to people who cannot afford to pay big market gurus and fake market gurus. I want people to learn themselves, um, to do technical analysis of the market and take an efficient trade. And if the trade goes wrong, I want to teach everyone how to manage this trade in your way. Well, my way of teaching and analyzing market is a bit different than others, and what I do, I just see the bigger picture of the market. Well, I 110% um, agree, and I take all my trades 100% on the breakout theory. Why is it? Because if you take a proper trade, a good trade, after analyzing market on the breakouts, your trade won't go in negative figures and it will start going towards your side. This breakout theory is very good for the swing traders, the guys who are doing it intraday, even on H1, M30, and the same theory applies on scalping as well. I'll try to teach the scalping when I'm going to analyze every week or midweek as well. So I'll try to analyze the market on Sunday. I'm going to upload a video and I'm going to analyze the market midweek, or if I'll not be able to analyze the market midweek, I will try to give an analysis before a day when I will think that there are potential trades in the market of different pairs. I'll try my best to find out 3 to 4 trades every week on intraday basis. All you have to do is stick to the plan, and it depends upon you, whatever system you're going. You've got indicator, you've got robot, you've got EAs, but you definitely need a proper price action system. Without price action, your EAs and robots won't work. Trust me. Okay, let's start. We're going to analyze first of all Aussie major. We're going to see in the bigger time frame, which is monthly, although we're not going to take any trade on this time frame, but to take a trade in a smaller time frame, it is necessary that we start analyzing market in the bigger picture. So what exactly happened is Aussie major was very high in previous years, back in 2008. It fell down, it broke this trend line, it went down, it started doing a correction. Everyone knows, maybe some of you do not know this, that market has two waves in the when it moves in two waves. Number one is impulsive wave, which is a bit faster, and number two is correction. We call a pullback, correction, or retracement, when market goes choppy and then it breaks out. This breakout we are after. We're going to find this breakout and we're going to take our trades on the basis of these breakouts of trend line and support and resistance both. When it breaks out both with trend lines as well and support and resistance, there is a potential trade in which you can trade intraday scalping or swing trading. So we'll try to figure out where's the price. Price is here, so we're gonna put our support and resistance in this area, so we can know what is our range. So market fell down. It broke a corrective structure like this. It was going like a broadening wedge, rising broadening wedge. It came down, it broke it, and it started doing it started its retracement, which it broke again, and it came down. So you know that when a correction is going on in the market, the target should be where the correction started from, which is below this area, about 1823 more pips. But it won't fall all of a sudden, because it's a monthly chart. It's going to take about 2 more years or 3 more years. But we know that market Aussie major is in sell in a longer time frame. It can retrace, it can give us 5 to 600 pips for a while, but in a bigger time frame, it's in sell. So we'll come back to weekly chart, and we're gonna see what is it doing in the weekly chart. Look, when it broke this area, now we're gonna sort out our trend lines a little bit, and we're gonna start watching what it's doing. So it retraces back for a while, rising wedge, broke out, another rising wedge. You're gonna find it very clear when you go into the daily chart, which we're gonna go now in a minute. I'm just trying to give you a theory, what I'm going to do basically, how I'm going to analyze the market. Right. The third one is here. It was a rising wedge as well. It went up, and there we go. We got a trend line here. Now, this trend line is indicating that market couldn't break it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and the 5th time it's standing there now. So now we know here is the market. It's a potential area. We have to look for it, and then we're going to execute it. So now we are in daily, and we can see an impulse wave came down and started correcting, and in that it started making another correction, which looks like this, which it broke out about a week ago. Last week it broke it out. So you arrange your support zones, which is like this. It's gonna be, this is always a support zone, by the way. This was a support zone, and it enters in a support zone. So what we are looking, if it breaks down, we need a little bit of retracement in a small time frame, and it will go down. So how are we going to find a trade in intraday? This is our area of interest, right? We're going to look in this area. After analyzing in daily, weekly, we know what's going on now. We're going to analyze this market in H4 after we will give a rectangle surrounding this place, so we can know what's going on. So what happened exactly is Aussie major started going in impulse wave. It broke this trend line, which was here, right? Retracement, right? Broke out again, another retracement. The target was this. The target was this previously. An impulse wave again, another retracement. Wow, look at that. Someone might have missed this all moves. I didn't. Another impulse wave, and this is kind of a retracement. Okay, now after this retracement, we can expect it to go out and break it, because it's a falling broadening wedge, which indicates the market should go from the top. But the market already broke this trend line, and as you can see, there is a trend line which I'm going to draw it NH4 as well again, because it was in daily. I'm going to delete this one just to analyze in H4. It is like this, right? So there is a resistance trend line, and the price broke the support trend line in a smaller time frame. So now our area of concern is here. What is market doing here? Market is, we're going to come back to H1 because we have to take trades in as an intraday trader. So we know that this is what market is exactly doing. All right, this was market doing, right? This is the area market is moving up and down. So let's see what happens. How we're gonna take, how we're gonna apply a breakout strategy on this pair. So let's start from here. This was an impulse wave. This was a corrective structure, right? It broke out from here. It started giving us this trade. This was one trade. Then it went up. We left it. We took the trade. We took the profit. We went out of the market. We let the market make another pattern. It went up. It took a resistance. It got hit by resistance. It came down again. Another corrective structure went down, right? The potential TP should be here. Although it's 20 pip or 15 pip, doesn't matter. We are looking for intraday trading now. This TP is gonna hit in about 2 hours, and you won't mind it because you've got loads of pairs, and I'm gonna show every single pair how many trades you've been missing in the previous weeks. Okay, now we know that price is moving in this area, right? I'm gonna make it black because I like black. All right, it went up again, came down, went back again, double top, broke the double top, retested double top, went down again. 3 trades within, let's start it from here, right? Within 103 candles. So if 103 candles gave you about 58 or 60 pips, it means that one pair gave you 50 to 60 pips every now and then in 4.5 days, right? Now what Aussie major is gonna, what's its next step? The next step is, there are 2 scenarios of every chart. Why? I'm gonna explain you in a minute. But always make true patterns, 2 of them. Market is gonna follow one of them, and if you have your plan ready, you're gonna execute it in the right time, and you're gonna grab the pips out, whether you do scalping, whether you do intraday, or whether you do in daily. So we are expecting market to go up now, right? Forget about the supports and forget about the resistance. If you want to draw it, that is very good. Impulse wave, which is going to be fast, like this, or like this, right? This was an impulse wave anyway. So if market goes up and then starts a corrective structure, probably is going to break out down like yesterday. I've sent the pictures in the group, right? This is the base why I took those trades. It's going to break out, it's going to come back here, it's going to give you 10, 15, 20 pips. It depends upon the pair, how frequently it gives the pips, how fast it's giving in pips. All right, this is number 1 scenario. Scenario number 2 is it's going to give a big an impulse wave upwards, correction downwards. Because it's H1, it's going to take a maximum 10 to 15 candles to fix these things. Correction, and it goes up straight away like this again. Well, because it's in buy at the moment, grab a pattern who favors market towards the bullish side, and your trade is going to be successful. Because it's in the weekly chart, it's in sell. So if you take a sell trade at the moment, because the trend line from the top is stopping this market, this price to go up, it will help you to take a sell trade. But whatever you take, you make sure a breakout happens, it retests, and it goes up again. This was Aussie major. Let's talk about Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, again, there is a trend line going, there's a resistance, right, in the weekly chart. And when you come back on the daily chart, look at that. This is our area of concern, all right? It's a rising wedge after this impulse wave. Look at this. This was an impulse wave. Before that, this was an impulse wave. This was correction. If we go H4, we find more clear. Impulse wave, and rather it starts giving a correction. It did not give us correction. It started doing correction in an opposite way, like this, higher highs. So it's squeezing now, and it's making a rising wedge, which means it's going to break from down anytime. Well, if it breaks down, it'll go up till here, right? Or probably then we're going to see what structure it makes, and it's going to break this support trend line or no. As Aussie yen is in sell at the moment in weekly time frame. I'm not talking about the daily time frame. I'm talking about the weekly time frame. Okay. So our concern is this area, but we want to trade in H1 and H4. Let's come and see what's going on in H4. Look at that. That's what is going on in H4. What happened is how many trades we missed in previous days. Impulse wave, correction, impulse wave, then started correction towards the bullish area, right? But did not give us a proper what do you call it, pattern. So now what we are expecting this impulse wave to come more down, give us correction, right, by retesting this trend line, and then goes down like this. If we find this kind of a picture in this pair, we're gonna go for sell. Something else can happen. What else can happen is it goes up, start doing correction from here, and then boom, down, right? And another thing which can happen, it can break this resistant trend line. It goes up like this in a one big impulse wave, or 3-4 candles consecutively bullish, corrects, right, and breaks up, goes out of this trend line, and then we'll see what pattern it gives. So these are two scenarios I've explained for Aussie yen. That's how you take trade. Aussie Kiwi, right? In weekly, there was a symmetrical triangle. It broke it. It came down very, very down, about 560 pips. And then it started going up in daily. Look at that. Why I'm backtesting, just to explain how we do analyze the market. Impulse wave, correction, and another impulse wave, a little bit of correction, broke it out, and market is here. So what we are expecting, the market broke out and it give us another trend line which looks like this. It's a rising channel now. So what we expect it to come down, correction, and then break. Number one. Number two, this is an impulse wave, corrects down, in H4 goes up like this, right? Let's see our area of interest. This is our area of interest. Let's see what's going on there. How many trades we already missed on this pair? Okay, because we drew very nice trend lines, proper wave trend lines at daily in H4. Doesn't matter if your chart little bit gets full of trend lines, don't matter. If you're not putting any indicators, your chart is naked chart, you're using trend line, you're using it successfully, you're getting money. That's it. That's what we want. At the moment, that's what the scenario is. It's a head and shoulder. It can break it down, come down. That's your trade. You just wait for it to break. Or if it doesn't break and it goes up, right? It's going up like this, right? We wait it to break down, give us a correction, and we bring the market down 20-25 pips, ready to trade. That's what happened here. Market started making higher highs. Very good. We don't mind it. We are just waiting for a breakout. And there we go. It broke out here, an impulse wave, then came back for a smaller retest of this area, went down. So here, if you're a scalper, you just need 5-6 pips. This breakout is going to give you 5-6 pips, at least 10 pips. You're successful for that day, right? So Aussie Kiwi is doing this at the moment. CAD franc. Well, in the daily chart, CAD franc was very, very confusing in previous days, but not that much. Our area of concern is this. What is it doing? It's making a head and shoulder in daily. Shoulder, head, shoulder, expecting it to go down. But we need a reason, proper strategy, how it goes down. There we go. You can have a look. What is going on? H4. We have a very nice impulsive wave, correction. And what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a breakout, guys. If it breaks, it goes up again like this. It breaks out down. We have a trade ready for us. Number one, TP, and then we wait for this trend line which was coming in the daily chart. Let it break and it goes down. More and more down. I'm expecting it to go further and further down. Right? This is the scenario of H1. You want to be faster enough. Look, this is the trade you missed already. If you didn't trade this pair earlier, there was a small head and shoulder like this. Look, it went down. It's retesting this area. Let's see what it's gonna do. If it gives an impulse wave towards the upside and then correction, take the breakout. Get it. Carry on. In daily, it's making a rising channel. It broke this previous trend line with the help of an impulse wave. Look at that. This was an impulse wave, but instead of coming down to correct it, it started correcting to the opposite side. But it broke it, came down, and making a rising wedge. It retested this area, by the way. But the area of concern which we are concerned about, this impulse wave, right? This impulse wave here, and started correcting. That is an easy peasy kind of structure pattern, you can say. If it breaks down, it will go about how many pips? More than 100 pips, I reckon. But for example, if it won't come down, this is H1, guys. It's gonna be very fast. If it goes up and breaks this trend line and then corrects it, then you wait for it to break out, and you take the trade on the breakout to the next resistance of H1 or H4. All right. Let's do Franken. Almost, it looks like a Cadian. It broke its previous trend line resistance. It was very fast going up in an impulse wave. Now it's making a symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical triangles says that the market is gonna go up. Why? Because it was coming from down and with an impulse wave, right? Okay, so we know this area the market is moving at the moment. We will straight away come to H4 or H1. Let's figure it out. What we can look at that. These are the trades we missed already on this pair previously. When it started making this symmetrical triangle, there was an impulse wave correction. It broke out down. Another correction. It broke out down. There was a trade. Then it started moving up because we're gonna allow, after taking this, we're taking these take profits. We took them out. We allow the market to make another pattern. This is where you need to show some patience. Market was creating higher highs, right? And it gave us this trend line, right? With the swings, previous swings. We wait for a breakout. It broke it out, came down, gave us another rising wedge, and broke out again. Then we take the profit. We go out. We let the market make another picture. It gave us another picture. Look. Higher highs, broke out again, came down till here, retested, straight down. Now, what is gonna happen in franc yen? It took a support of this trend line. I'm expecting it to go up as an impulse wave, do a little bit of correction towards like down, give us about falling wedge, falling channel, whatever pattern of price action which allows the market to break from the top to go up. This is what it is. And why the buy trade will be successful on this one? Because symmetrical triangle already is being created in daily, which is giving us a signal that it's going to break from the top. But doesn't matter, wherever it breaks, you need to see a proper breakout in H1 or H4 to take this trade. For example, let's discuss another scenario. Let's see another picture of this chart. that this is an impulse wave. It started correcting here, right? Good. We don't mind. We didn't take any trade yet. We are waiting for the break. We are waiting for the breakout. It breaks out. Take a trade. Grab these 20, 30, 35. Yen pair's got more pips. Yen and pound pair's got more pips in a small area, so you can grab as many as you want. Aussie, Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is on a critical position at the moment. It has broken its previous support trend line, but this trend line, which is connecting with the wick, do not forget to create all the possible trend lines, because if you do not create it properly, you can lose a trade with a heavy margin. Okay, this area is our area of interest, right? We come back to H1. Let's see how many trades we already missed after the breakout of this rising wedge here. This was a rising wedge on H4. Like, it corrected it properly, right? It broke out. Look, it's small. You could take trades as many times as you want, as many times you see these kind of patterns. Rising wedge, another trade. All right, another impulse wave, rising wedge, it goes down. Now what we are expecting at the moment from Euro Aussie, no pattern at the moment, no pattern. So there can be two scenarios soon. This was an impulse wave, correction towards the opposite side, breaks from down. Number one. Number two, impulse wave, correction again, breaks from the top, yeah, or which is more chances that it's going to come down, give us an impulse and correction, and will take you down. So the buyers need to see the buying setup, the sellers need to see the selling setup. That is very easy. It is going to be so easy. If you keep practicing this breakout strategy, it's going to be on your fingertips, and you won't ever be scared of taking trades. You'll take a trade with confidence. You're going to get pips as many as you want. Euro yen was doing a correction in daily chart. Like, it has broken this resistance trend line, right? It went up with an impulse wave. Look at that. This was an impulse wave, but this trend line is passing through here. It was a rising channel as well. So it went out. You can say it's a reserve area, and it is doing correction like this in this area, right? The market is moving in this area. So we will have to see what we can do in smaller time frame. What's the market doing in smaller time frame? So this was the trend line resistance. This is trend line support. We are in H1 now. We want to be fast to gain profit. We don't want to sit all the week, all the days. So what we do, we see an impulse wave. We see a correction. We didn't see anything here, so we don't mind. Just leave it for a while. Wait, let the market make the picture. Let the market give us the proper structure and pattern. Right, there we go. We took these small pips. Then we allowed the market to go higher high, higher low, another higher high, and went up. We don't care. We just, one day, we woke up, we created a trend line. This is the trend line going, right? Because low, higher high, higher low, right? So market came very fast down, broke this trend line. As soon as you break the trend line, you took a little bit of confirmation, you let it go down, you take trade, go out of the trade, finish. Then allow the market to make another picture. Now we know this is a resistance trend line, this is a support trend line. Market is moving in between there, and we're gonna grab our pips in between this area which market is doing correction in a bigger time frame. Right. So now there was a higher high, and then higher high, higher low, and then a higher high. Right. We created this, we drew this trend line, and we are waiting for a good time. The price has to come in our radar so we can give it a surprise. So now there was an impulse wave, correction. We are waiting here. It broke out. What I do normally, I put sell stops. Sell stop hits, it goes down. You want to scalp, you just do for 5 pips. You want to go intraday trading, you just grab till the next support. That's it. And when the price breaks any pattern or breaks out any support or resistance or any trend line, it moves very fast for a while. So it's going to give you 40, 30, 25, 29, 35 pips very fast. You hit your TP, is going to come back. People say that it can go for a fake out. But scalpers, you know what? Scalpers are very, very lucky in this matter because they just trade for about 5 to 6 pips. If it's a fake out, still they get their pips and they go out of the market. They allow the market to make another picture. All right. This time it went up. It corrected properly, but it broke it down. We don't mind. We didn't put our buy stop here. If you want to put a sell stop here as well, you can try both areas. But it was a falling wedge. It was supposed to break from the top. Didn't break. Maybe any news, anything happened. We don't mind. We are not in the we are not in this trade. We're just waiting for the price to give a proper pattern. So it gave us an impulse wave. Remember, in the daily chart, price is correcting a falling wedge, right? So it is supposed to break from the top. So now what is going to happen? What I want, if I want to trade euro yen, I want an impulse wave, a correction, and I'll be very confident to take a buy after this breakout because I know the market is going to break in the daily time frame from the top. You got me? Euro New Zealand. In the weekly chart, what is Euro Kiwi doing? Let me see. There you go. This is the daily chart. That was an impulse wave, a correction, a very good breakout, and a very good breakout of this other trend line, which was in a bigger time frame. We go straight away to H4, H1. We see where is the price. This is the price in H1. Look at that. How big candles. Juicy candles, man. Alright, this was an impulse wave. It corrected very good. We took a trade on a breakout. It went down, retested twice, fell down again, created another trend line. Okay, now it went up very fast and probably is correcting like this. If it corrects like this, we wait for this breakout to send it up again. If it does not correct like this, the market opened, I think. Look at the gap of the market. It just opened 26 pips gap. Okay. So what Euro Kiwi is doing now, we are okay now we know it's gonna come down because it's gonna go up for a while to just fill this gap anyway. So it's gonna go like this and it probably move up. But if it doesn't, and if it doesn't give you a nice picture, you don't have to trade. You just trade the patterns I'm telling you. So in case if it comes down like fast and then corrects like this, just wait for this breakout and this one as well. So it's both breakouts, it goes straight away down. Easy peasy. GBP Aussie. It is correcting, coming down. You can see it's an impulse wave coming down very fastly. Very fast. And supposed to break from the top. Now we know it's moving in this area. Look at that. How many trades you and pound pairs. They give too many pips in a small area. Look. Forget about this area. This was an impulse, rising wedge. Okay, it has started at that time, so we didn't want to take risks. We didn't want to know. We didn't know the market is going down or up. But after it hit this area, now it is giving us a signal that market is going to move in between these trend lines for a while. It came down, rising wedge, broke out. You took a trade. Then another rising symmetrical triangle broke out, another trade. Then if we allow this pair, we have to allow these pairs to take trade and make patterns so we can take trades. A rising wedge again broke down, another rising wedge broke down. You decide how many pips you want, secure pips. This is a rising wedge. It broke down. I'm expecting it another correction go down. But in daily time frame, it is supposed to break from the top. So what we do, we're gonna look for a pattern. Let's make the trend your friend, right? We want to see something correction like this, which breaks from the top, so our trade will be secure. Or when the market comes down and when it goes up, we need to see some kind of correction which is gonna break from the top. Let it go up. This was GBP AUD. Same is going on in GBP. All pairs almost are going same. This is GBP USD, right? Same thing is happening. Now it is at the bottom of this line. We need to see a very nice impulse wave a bullish impulse wave, then correction. The impulse wave is just gonna break this small trend as well. Correction, it breaks, it goes up. Yep. GBP New Zealand, look at that. Same like GBP Aussie. This was a rising wedge. It broke, came down. This correction was longer down and it broke up very nicely. It broke down. Okay, now what it is doing this. We wait for this breakout. We bring it down. And then what we expect another move up, correction, goes up. More secure towards the buy side because the market is buy in bull. Market is helping bullish or bulls to go upwards because it's a falling wedge and falling wedge breaks from the top 99%. GBP same moves. As a rising wedge, right? It broke out, came down, gave it at least about what was a small area, but GBP pair gives too much of the pips. 36 pips. That was more than enough for intraday trader, mind you. Okay, now the best thing which is doing now is it has already touched its support trend line in the bigger time frame. I want it to do just a little bit of correction, which allows me to decide after this breakout I'm going to take it up because it's going to break from the top in the bigger time frame. At the moment, in case a geopolitical issues or any flood or anything happens with Brexit, maybe market will break the patterns, but mostly it will follow the patterns. GBP CAD is not giving any kind of proper pattern, but expectedly you have to wait for the pictures, the patterns which I showed you. It comes down, it's correcting like this, it goes down. You keep selling it if you find a good pattern. Rising wedge, symmetrical triangle, rising channel or something like that. It corrects again, you allow it to go down, you take the pips. That's it. Okay, New Zealand yen. If you do not understand New Zealand yen, remember you just watch Aussie yen, they move same. Okay, it was a rising wedge, it broke out and it is waiting in this area. It's moving in this area. Why it's waiting in this area? Because it could not break this support, this previous low, couldn't. So it's moving in this area like this. So when we come in the smaller time frame, we expect this area to break. This area to break, to send it down, and when it breaks very fast and then you take an impulse wave and correction, then you send it to more down. New Zealand yen and Aussie yen are supposed to go sell for about at least 1300 pips for next coming 6-7 months, and they're in sell. This is a very big trade. If someone has got too much money in their account, they can hold the trade for sell for longer and longer time. At the moment in monthly chart, it is retesting the area. This was my small analysis. I'm going to do analysis on gold. I'm not going to do analysis on dollar at the moment because dollar is not creating any patterns. I'll show you in a minute. This is gold. Like gold was in a very strong bullish trend after this impulse wave. It's correcting, right? It is moving in this area, and I'm expecting. Okay, let's see what happens in H1. What happened exactly? How many trades we missed? Okay, we missed one big trade on H1. You will not probably find every time because this is where you have to show patience. This was an impulse wave. It showed a very nice correction and it went down. Someone might have taken a lot of pips over here. You don't have to always enter the market. You've got 26 pairs, guys. You can take every pair twice in a day. Or you can find about 4 trades every day from any of the different 26 pairs. Because in smaller time frame, you keep finding new patterns and you're grabbing pips regularly. All right, what I'm expecting gold to move a bit higher, give a correction, and this is going to be a very nice bullish trade. Why? Because the gold is supposed to break from the top as it's in the is in a bullish trend, and it's a falling wedge, by the way, in a daily chart. So we will expect some pictures like this, or a symmetrical triangle which breaks from the top, but we need to make sure that this wave is an impulse wave. All right, guys, I'll try to give another analysis on Tuesday night. If I find more any of the trades tomorrow, I'm gonna update a fast video so you people understand how I created the patterns which I created yesterday and I've sent in the group. Thank you so much. If you like it, I'm gonna do it every week. I'm gonna give an analysis every week. I'm gonna give a